Chattanooga police are investigating a crash that involved one of their own. This happened last night on Dodson Avenue.
Officials say the police cruiser was traveling north with lights and sirens on when a Ford Explorer, also driving north, made a turn in front of the police officer. Channel 3's Natalie Potts joins us now in the studio with more on what those involved in the crash saw. Natalie?
Well, the grandmother who was driving the Ford Explorer told her family that she didn't see or hear the blue lights and sirens before she was hit. She was in the middle of making a turn when it happened. No one was seriously hurt.
He knocked her whole tire off her car, and he was going so fast that he couldn't stop. He ended up way down there right before that tree that's up there.
Shaniqua Babs' two young daughters, ages 9 and 10, were in this Ford Explorer Sunday night. The girls were riding in the backseat with their grandmother at the wheel. They were making a left turn onto Curtis Street when a Chattanooga police officer crashed into them from behind.
The neighbor told me that he was doing over 100 miles per hour.
Investigators are looking into how fast both drivers were traveling. Chattanooga police say the officer was headed to a call.
I understand that they need to do their job and they need to get there, but it don't make sense to have to drive so fast all the time. She was already turning, so it was nowhere for her to pull over unless she got out the way.
Sergeant Gary Martin with CPD's Traffic Division explains, under Tennessee state law, all emergency vehicles running lights and sirens are required to pass drivers on the left-hand side, while drivers are required to yield and move right.
When I'm coming up behind a car, I'm watching that car because we don't know how people are going to react sometimes. By law, you have to pull to the right.
If you're on a highway, officers ask you to gradually move right, get out of the fast lane and maintain your speed. If you're on a 2-lane road, all drivers should move to the right and give the emergency vehicle the center line. And if you're in the middle of making a turn, officers say you should stop and allow the officer to go around.
Now, the crash is still under investigation to determine who was at fault here. Both drivers suffered minor injuries, but Babs' daughters were okay. We checked police protocol, and CPD officers only run their lights on high priority calls that could include a life-threatening issue. In the studio, Natalie Potts, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.